Baby, if you were like me, you knew from the moment Papa Pope Tootsie rolled his ass across that screen that come hella hot water, he was gonna be Angie Daddy. I got my notes. I hope y'all got yours. Let's get on into this drama series. So we are introduced to Angela, a single mom trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, along with her aunt and daughter who inherit a property where they're opening a black hair care business called Eve's Crown. Now, the show is set in this area called Oak Bluffs, which I came to find out from a quick Google search. It's actually a real area. Now, I don't know whether or not it's actually associated with black wealth and black excellence. Okay, y'all can let me know down in the comments whether or not that's the case. But it's an actual real place, which I thought was very interesting. Anywho, the first thing that I thought when I saw the single mom, her aunt and daughter was, and listen, don't read me for this, y'all, but was I the only one who thought the aunt was Suge Avery from The Color Purple? I swear to you. I said, oh my God, Suge Avery is moisturizing, honey. Okay, she is moisturized down. And then I thought about it for a minute. I said, she could not look this vivacious, even with moisturizing down to the TV, if this was Suge Avery. So, baby, I did another quick Google search down to the Google. And the actress is actually, her name is Debbie Morgan, which then confused me even further because the only Morgan I know is Melissa, honey. Do you still love me? That one. Okay, so I didn't know who Debbie Morgan was. So, Mama, I apologize. You are a very accomplished actress, and I am so sorry that I, mistook you for Suge Avery. All right, moving forward because I got issues. So the black hair care business is called Eve's Crown. Now, the second thing, was it me or did y'all think that Eve's crown, in terms of the Eve, was for Adam and Eve, right? Now, I'm not saying that Eve from the Bible wasn't black. I'm just saying all the representations was a lily white woman. So I didn't know what was going on. Come to find out later in the episode, the mama name was Evelyn, okay? And so Evelyn, Eve is short for Evelyn, so Eve's Crown. So now I get a little bit of double entendre, a little bit confusing for me, but I'm glad that they cleared it up. So we continue on in the episode and we find out that Ange don't know her daddy. Don't know her daddy. Papa was a Rolling Stone. She don't know who he is, okay? But from the beginning, once I saw that Joe Morton was associated with this show, and for y'all that don't know, Joe Morton is Papa Pope's real name down to the damn, census public records place, okay? Once I saw that he was down into this show, I said, listen, if they do not make Joe Morton, okay, Ange's daddy, they have missed an opportunity, baby, because Papa Pope, well, I forget, I think his name is Daddy Franklin in this one, so I'm gonna have to switch up my vocab. So Papa Pope, Daddy Franklin and Papa Pope make the best evil, powerful, black excellent type daddy characters that I have seen cross TVs, right? So I live for Joe Morton. So once I saw he was associated with the show, I said, if this man is not Angie Daddy, they have literally missed an opportunity. Moving forward, we are introduced then to the Franklin-DuPonts. And so the Franklin-DuPonts is really associated with the daughter, Leah, who she's Daddy Franklin's daughter, right? And then she married a man who's the Morris Chestnut character. I guess he the DuPont. They didn't really go into that. So I'm assuming, baby, that she did a little hyphenation down to her situation and created Franklin-DuPont. So that's where I got from. Let me know, drop down in the comments if y'all think that I got that right. So we soon come to find out that the wife, Leah, doesn't like Ange. You see, and now was a bit of foreshadowing, honey, because isn't it always that, well, two things. Because we find out later in the episode that Leah may be Ange's potential sister, sisters don't normally get along. So she probably saw something in Ange that she didn't, like in herself. It could be something like that. Or, it also sets up the whole conversation that happens in black culture in terms of, I've made it, I'm looking down my nose at you, honey, and the door is closed for people to come up, and live in my blessing, live in my greatness, live in my world, right? So two different scenarios, two different types of things that we can explore in the show possibly later based on that foreshadowing. But I thought that was interesting that she didn't like her from the beginning when she really had no reason not to like her. Listen, the lady came to your event. She was respectful as hell. She even scrounged up her pennies from her $1.15 in the beginning of the episode to give you a $1,700 check. And you gonna look down at your nose at that girl and tell her that she needs to, donate it down to the donation box in the front, okay? Her heels is bad. That's why they cracked in those people's brick setting down to the thing where the Lance Gross character helps her with her shoes. So listen, that don't make no sense. God don't like ugly, so I'm not saying that she gonna get hers now, but the Leah character gonna get hers eventually, because you can't treat people any kind of way and think that it's gonna be okay. Now, back to Joe Morton, who I love. Joe Morton, I wrote this down, y'all. He is transcendent. Okay, that's an SAT word, okay? I'm going to share a little bit of something about me. When I was a child, coming up in the mean streets of the suburbs, my dad used to make me read the dictionary, okay? And every single day I had to come home with a SAT word to basically give to him along with the definition and use it in a sentence, baby. So, Joe Morton is transcendent. He is exceptional in this role. I live for his damn monologues. Listen, I love Papa Pope's monologues down to the damn Scandal. So this was pretty much quick work for him to get into this role and do those same monologues. I live for it. He is such a great character. And he was cast perfectly for this role, I thought. So the mom, Ange, and her daughter, Nikki, start getting invited to the society parties in this highfalutin area. And so I thought it was just very interesting that, they just got so immersed into the culture immediately. The mom, who I said earlier, her heel broke in a damn brick pavement or whatever. And so that enabled her to get a invite to this party from the Lance Gross character, where she starts, tonguing this man down. Listen, she moved quick. Oh, I said, go, Yaya, go, Yaya, go. Okay. And then the daughter gets immersed with the second generation of this family, which is like the children, just in terms of, these yacht parties and these, high society, upper crusty parties or whatever. So they get invited to those. The daughter is framed. The mom relationship is tense, and somebody places something in the daughter purse. Listen, y'all. I don't know why my mind went to this immediately, but I was like, why is it always the case that when somebody from a different background, possibly a lower background, comes to a party for an upper crust person, they are always the person that is framed for the murder, for the infraction, for whatever happens down to the day of party? I was like, this is so tired, but it's so true. It happens all the time, okay? I said, maybe they're just hazing this girl. Maybe this is just like a little bit of initiation into the club or whatever. But when that lady put that thing in her purse, the only thing I could focus on the entire time was, what the hell did she put in this girl purse, okay? So when I say she was framed, it seems that when the police showed up after the girl was, thrown overboard, fell overboard, we don't actually know what the story is. The Franklin-DuPont daughter tells the officers that, she was the last person to be seen with it in terms of Nikki, Ange's daughter. She was the last person to be seen with her, and she'd been drinking and da-da-da-da-da and blah, blah, blah. So I'm just like, listen, I knew that there was some sort of infraction going on in the situation. Something in the milk wasn't clean. And I was focused on whatever was placed in that purse. So we later find out, going back to the house with Ange and her daughter, that the relationship between the mother and the daughter is very tense, right? Because it was sort of framed in the beginning as this very loving relationship. And it could be, but, people are not just one thing, right? And so because people are not just one thing, they can have layers, okay? So we find out that, from earlier in the episode, the daughter had some fights in school, and this was going to be, this move to Oak Bluffs was going to be a new beginning for them all, right? And so the daughter accuses Ange, the mother, of always trying to keep her in spaces where people don't look like her because of her desire to move up in society and I guess, get to a better level than where she's at by all means necessary. So interesting there that that whole narrative of her trying to move on up, no matter where she is sort of parallel to what's going to happen in this Oak Bluffs community in terms of her trying to move on up in society to get to the pinnacle of where she wants to get. We later find out, because I needed them to tie up this loose end, that what was dropped in the daughter Nikki bag was a phone. And I don't know how you drop an iPhone in somebody's bag that's not password protected, but y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if people don't password protect their phones no more. I got too many secrets in mine, so everything is locked down, baby. It is Fort Knox. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. In the bag, Nikki takes it out and finds out that there is what I can only describe as a softcore lesbian OnlyFans type video, okay, of the Franklin-DuPont daughter and the girl who got thrown off the damn boat. Yes, I said thrown, okay, because listen, if the Franklin-DuPont daughter is hiding who she is, that lady probably confronted her at the beginning of that yacht, and she was like, I don't feel like being your secret no more. Did anybody see ya? Hey, come into my house last night. Let me stop. I'm so sidetracked today. Okay, she said, I was going to confront you. I'm not going to be your little secret anymore. The Franklin-DuPont daughter panicked, honey, and just threw her off the damn yacht and then blamed Nikki for it. So that's what I thought it was. But just interesting that we're going to have the layer of the LGBT community, the whole juxtaposition of, you know, African Americanness and the LGBT, the intersection of that and what that truly means within the Black family. So I'd be interested to see them explore that topic. We'll see if they do. Moving on to these cults, okay? And I say cults because it's for lack of a better term, but it's the Gracities, which seems to be the women's organization, and the Kingship, which is the men's organization. So I say cults for lack of a better term, but I'm sure these are very dignified organizations, you know, HBCU based type things, right? So, I mean, if you think about it, being a part of this Oak Bluffs community puts you in terms of like, you know, a wealthy aristocratic type area, right? And then because there always has to be some sort of exclusivity on top of the area that you're already in, they created these organizations, which pretty much represents the upper echelon of the already echelon, right? So the Gracities being the women's organization and the Kingship being the men. So interesting how we're going to see them frame those moving forward. I was just struck by the overwhelming sense of Black excellence. I think it's very rare in today's society to see a show that portrays Black people in such a positive, upper crusty light. Like, don't get me wrong, there's shows that portray Black culture in a very good light in terms of, you know, the lower income community, the upper middle class community, but I can't really say that we've seen a show that really deals with the other side of that wealth, like the uber wealthy, right? The CEOs, the runners of industries, like those, the leaders of conglomerates. So I don't think we've seen a show that has put us in those spaces. So I'm really glad to see that here. Especially with the whole introduction of this hair care thing, hair setting us free, hair equaling wealth. I really like the fashion show aspect with the different hairstyles and just embracing the culture. So listen, I think that this show is definitely a win for the culture and I'm here for it. And because we have to go from the mess back to, from the good stuff back to the mess, listen, you got to balance it out. It can't be all good. If there was no drama, people wouldn't watch. So now let's get into this grandma who wants Ange out. So the grandma, y'all drop down in the comments and let me know whether it's Grandma DuPont or Grandma Franklin. I couldn't figure it out because, listen, quiet as it's kept, the lady looked too old to be Joe Morton's love interest, but I don't know. Okay, it could be Grandma DuPont, it could be Grandma Franklin. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know. Anywho, the grandma decided she wants Ange out because she knows something in terms of her disruptive history. So we later come to find out that the grandma uses Leah Franklin-DuPont as, you know, the devil's crafty minion. Okay, and she plays right into it to try to embarrass Ange down to this damn after party from the fashion show or whatever. And she basically lets Ange know that her mother was arrested. She gave her the mugshot. Baby, when you saw the mugshot, didn't you think of Mama Evelyn from Braxton Family Values? Oh, you got a mugshot. That's the first thing I thought of. I just love these things just being interweaved in my brain as we go through. But anywho, Ange mama was arrested for intent to distribute. Now, baby, maybe I missed it, or perhaps my imagination took hold at that point and I decided to take some creative license, but they didn't say exactly what she was intending to distribute, although it was framed as drugs, right? And so if it was framed as drugs, my drug of choice in terms of the one that puts the biggest smile on my face in terms of hearing about it is cocaine. And let me tell you why. Any of y'all who have ever watched the show Married to Medicine will remember the iconic scene where Quad and Mariah were going at it, and Quad accused Mariah of snorting cocaine, right? So she called her an old cokehead. And Mariah raised up and she said, cocaine! It just makes me laugh just saying it. She said, cocaine! And so whenever I hear a drugs or intent to distribute or anything drug adjacent, all I think of is cocaine, okay? So it didn't say the lady was, selling coochie down to her damn store along with her fine hair care products. So I'm just going to assume the lady was intending to distribute heroin, okay? Or cocaine, rather, and possibly a little bit of weed. We'll see. But every scene makes sense in terms of linking to another one, because that whole scene where, she's broken down in terms of the Ange character, in terms of finding out this new secret or revelation about her mother, forces her to do some research in conjunction with her friend, where she then gets a hold of a video where she sees what I can only assume to be a young Daddy Franklin. And it triggers a memory in her brain of Daddy Franklin coming by and leaving a watch or whatever. So I thought that was good, just in terms of them weaving this story and connecting the clues, right? So really, really good episode all around. And now Ange is set out to prove that Daddy Franklin is her actual daddy, which, listen, I already knew from the first 10 minutes that was going to be her daddy. You cannot have Joe Morton in a show and him not turn out to be somebody daddy, y'all. So anywho, y'all, I am here for our kind of people, and I'm excited to see where this show goes. So I'm going to follow it. And if you guys liked what I said, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Stereo, and Twitter at DatDamnDasher. And until next time, y'all, come hella high water, come back and watch my next review. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.